Hello class, hello friends, hello our subscribers. Today we're making this amazing, a little practical supply box. This was just optional. You don't have to do another layer here. Most importantly in class, we're gonna do these two sides. And what I like about this supply box is that it shows the tips of the crayons perfectly. They're easy to access this way, and you can really enjoy very quickly accessing the colors you want. You can organize them rainbow order. You just can have a nice visibility for everything you need. You can also put your table number that way so nobody can claim or steal yours. You're gonna know what color you have. You can keep your tickets in here, okay, with your name on for your special activities. And what we are using right now to do that, we already distributed colors so students were able to choose their favorite color. This is a thick foam core, so it's nice and thick. It's about this thickness, so it's a good thickness here. So it's going to be very sturdy. It's nice and flexible and things like that. So it's not going to tear very easily. So it's the size of it. It is about, as you can see here, 9 inches. This way, 9 by is 6, 9 by 6. So this card is 9 by 6. Here's a big envelope, large envelope, and this one, just to show you on the YouTube world, a large envelope like this, 9 by 6, okay? So the first step we want to do is kind of decide where I want to have the top flip going across. And usually the way I decide is I put a crayon because I want to see the tips. So when you put your crayon, decide like, okay, so I want to see the tips just like that. So it's easy to see your colors. So you can decide on the size of your fold by the size of your crayons. So kind of like measure up your crayons to where you want to have your fold. And then also the tops of the crayon, you should fold over them. And just kind of go over it. You can use your fingers and just smudge it down like this. Push it down. The foam will kind of remember. It will kind of create a little crease. So you know where you're supposed to fold it. Now, very important, once you have these folds down in place and you're happy with it, very important is to just hold it there, and then you're gonna have to have like about one width of a finger, so at least this much away before you start making your punch the holes. So I would take a pencil, and look how I did that. I put my finger is bigger than yours, so maybe just put a little more space and draw yourself a line so you don't make a mistake, because if you put the hole much closer to the end, it will tear, and your purse, your pouch, your supply box will not work. So do not put it too close to the edge, because that would be a big mistake. When you're done with that and you have it in a correct position, this might be a little tricky to make a hole through them together. It might not be like the easiest because it's kind of really tight. You might have to open it and do it separately. So I open it like this and just do one side at a time and leave about this much space, about a little finger in between space. And so you can't do two of them at the same time, but obviously you're gonna have to put the holes and use your pencil so you know exactly, so they align where the next hole on the other side is supposed to be, because otherwise, if you don't put it in the correct space, again, you're gonna lose out. So right now I drew my dots, and so we want it to be lined up perfectly. So it is a little tricky. You're gonna have to slide it over and just punch the hole exactly where it is. And for little hands, this might be all a little challenging, so you might need help from an adult if you're younger. but it can be really done if you try really hard, and just be really careful. Clean your puncher, because these foam pieces are thick and you're gonna have to need a space for the other side. On the other side, you're gonna do the same exact thing. So you're gonna go over, hold your pouch, okay, and you're going to follow the line you made and make your line. You want to have space about, like I said, a little finger. Don't put them too close, because again, if you put these too close, they will tear. So if you put them too close and you didn't follow directions, what's gonna happen is you're gonna have a tear in between this area. If they're too close, it's gonna open up, and that's not gonna work. If there is a hole here and a hole here, it's gonna tear a hole and it's not gonna hold up. So do not put these holes close to each other. They do need that space in between each other. Then you're gonna draw your circles with your pencil. I did that, as you can see. And I'm gonna go ahead and punch my holes again. So I'm punching my holes carefully, following the line I made. It's not close to the line, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead, even though my students are still working on it, but I'm gonna go ahead and start sewing. That's this part. Here in this video, I use the pipe cleaner, which is also possible to use. You can also use a pipe cleaner. It would give you a little harder. Pipe cleaners have nails, wire in it, so it would also give you a certain look. But what we are using in class is a string. So I am gonna be using a string. Here's an example of exactly what I said not to do. And that is not going to hold. Very good. You're going to have to tape it up. If you do that, you are supposed to keep your distance. And it's really important not to do that. Okay, so you're going to just have to tape it up. It's not going to hold the same. Or you're going to have to cut your side, redo it, cut this whole string up, redo it. But then your bag is going to be shorter. So that's up to you. You can probably cut it off and restart it and make your supply wallet is going to be much shorter when you cut that off. But yes, that's exactly what not to do. Who didn't figure out what we're exactly doing. How are you going to string? How are you going to string this through when all your holes are open? How are you supposed to sew this through and hold anything, right? If you're not following the directions. The line shows you here, and yet you go on the inside. It was supposed to be over that line, 1 inch into it. You drew your line, and it was supposed to be on that line, like I drew it here. It's on the line. My holes are on the line, so they're not close. Otherwise, how are you going to put a string through here when the string is not holding? This is not going to be strong enough with use. If you only leave this much space and not this much space, I said 1 finger at least, it's going to open up with use. You put that string in and try to sew it, it's not going to hold up. This one, it will not let it. When I sew it and when you use over time, so it's lasting like a wallet should be, it will not break right away. So this would have to be cut off and start over. Okay, those are the things that I knew if you're not going to follow directions are going to happen. And I'm glad I have examples for the students online to see what not to do. But yeah, you need to follow the directions and do it correctly. So you would have to, again, like I showed you, when you make your line, you need to make it at least 1/2 inch thick. Okay, and then it goes further away, like so, okay? And when you go on the other side, you gotta draw your holes there so you can see them and so you can align them. But yes, I went over that. So try to replay the video if this is you and it didn't work out for you, or you put them too close like this one. Okay. Okay, we have only 6 minutes before the end of the class, so at least let's try starting this. And then it would be a good idea to write your name somewhere. So maybe on the inside, or write your table number like here, so nobody takes your special wallet. So I'm gonna write Miss K on here, Miss K, Miss K. So MK or something like that. For me, that's my my example. You can put your table number so nobody takes it if you're in class. So what we're gonna do is, once you fold it, you're going to, we are using this kind of string, by the way. It's really thick, okay, plastic string. It's called Rex lace, plastic craft lacing, Rex lace. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Or you can use pipe cleaner again. Okay, so I'm gonna put this away, clean up my space. So once you have your number or your initials, you're gonna start feeding this through. And we have a really long string. I gave my students really long string so they have enough. So what you're gonna do is meet the ends of that long string and go all the way through until they align like this. So you have two strings in your hands, okay? I hope you can see it here. I hope it's visible. Maybe with this yellow one, I'll give you a better contrast. Okay, so it's a long string that is stretched out in your hand and straight. So you align it straight. And then you have two ends, and it's just like sewing, like we were sewing the reindeers for Christmas decorations. So there is a video that you can visit if you want to do that next year for Christmas. But it's straight string, and now I'm going to go and pull it all the way as far as it goes so it's straight. And I'm going to go to the next one, and I'm going to feed it through the hole to the next one, and I'm feeding it. Okay, and be careful to pull it all the way through. This can be kind of sketchy, so be careful to feed it all the way through. Do not leave any string tied up in there. So you have to pull it all the way out until there's no extra string left, because you're gonna waste it. It's gonna tangle. Then you're gonna go back to the same hole you made just to make it sturdier. Go back through the first one with both ends, and you're gonna sew again. See, when this happens, when it tangles, just make it straight and keep pulling carefully. This is like a very careful sewing kind of lesson, but we're doing it with without the plastic needle. And then it's gonna go over like this, okay? Now go to the next hole, like this, to the second hole. And now you're gonna go pull it again all the way until it looks like this. Now you have a couple of times. You see, we have to make it nice and strong. That's why we have a long string for this one side. Okay? So now you can jump to the next one. And there's only, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have only 2 minutes, so we will not, for sure, not finish. We're going to have to sew this next class. But I went to the next hole just to show you really quickly. And I'm pulling it all the way again. So there's nothing left around here. There's no bulges, because we had problems with that when we're sewing the reindeers, that students were leaving a bunch of string unpulled. You need to pull it out. Okay, now I'm going to go this way through. So I'm going to go like this. So take your two strings and put them through here again to the same. And pull it in. And yes, it is hard for elementary students. We are in 3rd grade, so yes, it's challenging, but it is a craft. Sewing is something we should know, because it's very useful for practical life. You never know what you're going to have to sew. So pull it all the way. All the string is out. Okay, there's no leftovers. Then when you're here, you're gonna go to the next hole. Okay, you're gonna come through here, and I know we're gonna have to end it here as we keep sewing. We're gonna keep sewing next class, but all you're gonna keep doing is you're gonna keep going to the next hole. You're gonna basically make it look like that. So it has one goes this way, okay? Both string go this way, and one is gonna go straight up this way. So we are going to practice this in class because it's something that I'm gonna have to help students. I'm sure everyone is gonna have questions how to do it, and if it didn't work or it got tangled, this plastic string is actually hard to tangle. This Rex lace, much harder than a regular sewing string, so it will help you prevent those tangles that you don't want. But as you can see, it should look like something like that, okay? And if you're having hard time with this, maybe just practice with a pipe cleaner if it's something that students can handle better, or you can handle better, that you think it's easier. And the last part would be to tie it. And it's 8:41, so I will have to show you how to tie it really quickly and end the video. So you're gonna have the last loop. You're gonna feed it through the loop. I'm going through the loop, and I'm gonna pull it through and make see how it's turning into a knot. You're just gonna turn it, and then you do it one more time like that. You're gonna tie it one more time. So make a loop, feed it through, and you're gonna pull it all the way, and you're gonna have a finished knot at the end of that. Pull it really tight. The knot needs to be nice and tight. And that's all, folks, and I'll see you in our next video.